If there is one thing I am absolutely certain of, it's that your desire for love, romance, and partnership is not a desire that you hold all by yourself. This is a shared desire, and most of the people in the world, both men and women, in the deepest and truest aspects of their being, they desire the exact same things. But the world is toxic and people are traumatized, and most people are hiding the deepest and truest aspects of themselves behind thick walls of fear and protective barriers. So if you're looking for love in the modern dating world, you probably feel defeated, frustrated, and hopeless. But I have some good news for you, because in this video, I'm going to share how to connect with someone on a heart level. I'm going to show you the mindset and action steps to cut through the superficial and find out if you relate with someone in the deepest and realest ways. So watch this video all the way through to the end, because you're not going to want to miss a piece of what I have to share with you today. Before we get started, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you get notified about new videos as they're released. Also, at the end of the video, I would love it if you'd leave a comment and let me know how this video landed for you. Thanks so much for being with me today. It is always an honor and a privilege to be here and be able to share, and I'm excited to do so. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, the first thing I want to share with you in this video is a piece of mindset advice, and this is probably going to be the most important piece of dating advice you will ever receive, and that is to play the long game. When I first started my business, this was a piece of business advice I received. And what they told me is that most entrepreneurs start out trying to chase those quick paychecks. They try to get paid immediately. And so rather than building a foundation for their business that's going to produce lots and lots of revenue long term, they start out chasing those quick paychecks. Rather than building a foundation that's going to support them in a real way long term, they get into this hustle approach. And so the foundation of their business is built on the need to hustle and constantly chase that next paycheck. And what this leads to over time is exhaustion, burnout, and they lose passion for what they're doing, and ultimately the business implodes on itself. Well, as I got to coach more and more people in their love lives, and as I started working with people more and more in this domain, I found that people actually do the exact same thing with dating. Rather than having a long-term vision, saying, okay, what kind of partnership do I ultimately want to end up in? What kind of partner do I ultimately want to be with? And then asking yourself, okay, what do I need to do today? Or what do I need to do in the relationship that I'm currently exploring in order to end up at that long-term vision? And allowing that vision to determine how you show up today, what you do, what you don't do, who you entertain or who you don't entertain. But rather than being connected to that vision, we say, how do I get my needs met today? How do I get the attention I need? How do I get the love I need? How do I get the validation that I need? And so rather than being connected to a long-term vision, we start trying to get our needs met right now, immediately. And this ultimately has us chasing down people or experiences where there is no real love to be found. In the same way that the entrepreneur would constantly be chasing that quick paycheck, but never building a long-term foundation, we do the same things in our love lives. We chase the person who's going to give us a little bit of attention today, or the person that we can hook up with today, or the person that can give us some validation or get us excited. We chase that momentary experience, even if it's not backed up by any real long-term potential. And the most important shift you will ever make in your love life is to start playing the long game. Get connected to a long-term vision. Get connected to what you ultimately want, and evaluate every single experience and interaction based on if it's going to lead you to that long-term vision. Now, the next thing I want to share with you in this video is to be confidently connected to that vision, to talk about it with people, and to ask deep questions. Now, the first thing I want to say is that there is no shame in being honest and open and direct about the fact that you want a relationship. There is also nothing about asking someone what they want or if they also want a relationship that makes you look desperate. There is no shame, there is nothing desperate about any of that, but it's all in how you approach it. And I've found that there are really two ways that people approach this. The first one is the one that makes you look desperate. And what people do is they come from, I really want a relationship, and in order to get that, I really need you to like me, and I'm afraid you're not gonna like me because I'm afraid I'm not enough for you, so I'm gonna try to perform and do all this awesome stuff to get you to like me, and hope that if you like me enough, you will want a relationship with me. And then, so you do all this stuff and try to show them how great you are and show them what an awesome partner you would be and show them how great your life could be if you were together. And you just hope that at the end of it, they're gonna wanna be with you. And when you approach it this way, you usually procrastinate talking about what you want. When you do, it comes out all awkward and desperate. And by that time, they've already pretty much decided they don't want to be with you because you've been showing up desperate the whole time anyway. So that is the approach that doesn't work. So when I talk about being confidently connected to your vision and confidently speaking about it, this is the approach I'm talking about. You show up to a first date or an interaction very clear that, hey, I'm looking for a relationship. The reason I'm here today is because I'm looking for a relationship. And I want to get to know you to see what potential we have for a relationship together. I'm not pretending to do anything different. I'm not acting like it's all cool and we could just be casual and I don't care. No, like, hey, I want a relationship. I'm here to meet you because I want to find out what potential we have. I'm talking about that openly. I'm sharing with you why I'm here. I'm openly asking you questions about what you want, what you're looking for, how you see your future to be. And at the end of this date, if I don't feel in my heart that there's real potential for us to have a relationship together, I'm gonna lose interest in you. Okay, so I'm not here trying to perform for you, hoping you're gonna like me and wanna be with me. I'm here letting you know how awesome I am, letting you know what I'm looking for, finding out if you're looking for the same things, seeing if there's enough relatability here that I actually desire or am interested in a second date with you. And if you don't thoroughly impress me on this first date and make me think that there's a lot of potential for me to have what I'm looking for with you, I'm gonna say it was wonderful meeting you. I hope you have a great night. I wish you the best. I don't wanna see you again. Because that's how I show up from my vision, knowing what I want and knowing what I'm looking for. This is an energetic conversation. It's about the energy you bring to it. It's about how you show up, clearly asking for what you want, clearly telling someone what you're looking for, clearly asking them what they want if they're looking for the same things. You're not being pushy. You're not being aggressive. You're not being forceful in any way. You're just being authentic. You're just being true to yourself. Your energy is probably playful, connected, intimate, delightful, fun, right? You're being all of those things. But never for a second are you diminishing your authenticity. Never for a second are you pretending that you don't want what you want. And never for a second are you trying to impress this person or make them like you. How they feel about you is totally up to them. You're showing up authentically and clearly, knowing what you want, experiencing the other person, asking yourself how you truly feel about them, letting them decide how they truly feel about you. If you both authentically want to move forward, amazing. If you don't both authentically want to move forward, that is perfectly fine because you're playing the long game and you don't need this person to like you or want to be with you or want a second date. Now, this next point is going to follow very naturally from the previous point, but that is to learn to recognize who people are early on and let them go when they're not for you. What usually happens is as soon as somebody acts disinterested or they don't like you or they're acting distant or withdrawn, we immediately become afraid. And we say, what's wrong with me? Why don't they like me? Why don't they want me? And then we start trying to get that person to want us. And that's when we start doing all kinds of crazy things, like tracking them down on social media to find out who they're with or what they're doing, or finding them on the dating apps, finding out if they're still active on the dating apps. And we just start doing all this stuff, and we start spending enormous amounts of time and energy investing in someone who was never worth it to begin with. And you might not believe me when I say this, but I found this to be true with hundreds and hundreds of clients, is you doing that is the number one thing that prevents you from finding the people you actually want to find. that you investing time and energy in people that are not even real potential for you is the very thing that is keeping you out of the lives of the people who are. And so in this point, it's really just to recognize that you don't want someone who doesn't want you. The very fact that they don't want you has already removed them from your list of potential. And you might say, well, Shane, they want me, they just don't want the relationship. Okay, fine. They don't want a relationship, but you do. That means you don't want them. The moment they say, I don't want a relationship, or I'm just looking for something casual, or let's just see what happens, they're already removing themselves from your list of potential, because you only want someone who wants you, and you only want someone who wants the things that you want. There are going to be all kinds of people you're going to meet. There are going to be all kinds of experiences, people looking for all different kinds of things, people wanting all different kinds of relationships. And you've got to love yourself enough to be clear about what you want and to honor what you want and to hold your dreams like sacred in your heart and to not allow somebody else to take you away from that. That is a deep and true kind of self-love. And I want to say this, as long as you're willing to allow space and tolerate people who aren't what you're looking for, life is going to keep bringing those people to you. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. But the moment you get so clear that you're not open and you're not interested and you have no space for that, life is going to start bringing different kinds of people to you. And you might not believe me when I say that. You might think that sounds like a bunch of BS, and that's fine. But what I would say is try it out, because even if it's not true, it's still so much better than what you're doing right now. Now, I understand a lot of what I've shared with you in this video is easier said than done. When I tell you to confidently own your vision of love and speak about it openly with people, that's easier said than done. When I tell you to clearly recognize who's not for you and let them go without regret, that is easier said than done. And I know that when you go to implement these things in your real life, in the real world, in real time, it's not going to be as simple as just do it. But you are likely going to have some internal emotional struggle that holds you back and prevents you from doing this, or at least stops you from doing it as clearly and as confidently as you would like to. And what I want you to recognize is those feelings that you have inside your body that make you feel defeated, that make you feel stuck, that make you feel hopeless, that make you feel like you can't move forward, or that cause you to do the things you don't want to do, even when you know you're not supposed to do them, but you do them anyway. Those feelings that cause those reactions and those experiences in you, I want you to realize that that is your trauma. That is the pain of the past reliving itself in the moment now and preventing you from being the person you need to be to create the life you want to have. And for most of us, healing that kind of stuff requires more than watching a YouTube video. So if you know that you're ready for the deeper healing work that's going to allow you to empower yourself to be the person you need to be in your life, to create the love that you want to have, that is what my Inspired Love program is for. We're going to look at your past. We're going to see how the story developed, where you got the idea that you were unworthy of love, and how this has perpetuated itself throughout your life. We're going to do experiences of somatic release, where we let go of the shame and the trauma that prevents us from being able to receive love into our lives. And then we're going to equip you with real, powerful tools to use in the dating world that actually work and allow you to create the life and love that you want to have. So if you're interested in learning more about the Inspired Love program, you can go to inspiredloveprogram.com, or you can click the link below. Thanks so much for being with me today. It is always an honor and a privilege to be here and share. I hope you got something out of this video, and I would love it if you dropped a comment below to let me know what that is. Also, please share this video with someone who needs to see it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell so you get notified about new videos as they're released. Thanks so much for being with me today. It is always a pleasure. Sending you so much love on your journey, and I'll see you back here in my next video. Best wishes.